Welcome back and Merry Christmas. This is just an end of the year update. I'm just going to go through some of the things I've been doing and some of the things I plan to do. A few people have been asking if I'm still carrying on with the Zephyr 750. That is still ongoing. It's been fighting me all the way. There's a few issues with it. I'll show you some photos in a second, and there are a few videos to come. The main problem was that somebody, I think in the past, dropped the bike against its gear selector and it snapped on the inside. Now a friend of a friend was going to get that welded for me, and it just sat in his garage for 6 weeks, and I've now got it back and I'm looking for somebody else to weld it. So that's kind of delayed me. In the meantime, I've been getting on with other projects, like I've removed the carbs from the Zx10. Now they were never balanced when I put them back on, so I bought a balancing machine. I've totally stripped the carbs down, and I'm going to show you a few photos of that in a second. So when I was reconfiguring it in the garage, unfortunately I dropped the Zx10. Unfortunately I dropped it on myself. I caught it with my shoulder and my face, so the Zx10 is okay, apart from a slight crack in the screen. It fell almost against the speed triple, but luckily it didn't hit it, and they were both covered over, so everything was fine there. So this is what snapped off. That needs to be welded back on. So I'll probably totally strip this engine. I've bought a full gasket kit, so I guess I may as well use it. So it's in a state of undress at the moment. I give it a light clean down with some GT85, and I'll have a video about balancing the carbs. So I'm currently in the process of stripping and rebuilding these carbs. I've already stripped them down. I've partly reassembled them. They've been through the ultrasonic cleaner a couple of times, and I'm quite pleased with the results. After I cleaned them in this ultrasonic cleaner, I sprayed them lightly down with GT85, because I found the other ones that I didn't do that to started to sort of re-oxidize. So they are pretty clean. So I've taken everything apart, all the pipework off. I've got all my bits ready to put back together. So I bought these kits online. I think 4 of them came to 60 quid. Now for people who are not in the UK, a quid is £1. So 60 quid, I got 4, and it's got everything in there. The only thing I didn't like was the pilot jet and the main jet didn't look great. They were quite cheap, I thought. So then I bought new pilot jets, and I'm not sure the size of these. So the main jets in these kits were 160s. They should be 130s, but they had 140s on them, and that's probably because somebody fitted an aftermarket exhaust. The pilot jet should be 38, and they were 38s on these, but they're 35s in here. So although they were cheap, some of the parts are no good. They came with things like diaphragms and floats, and they look okay, in all fairness. The major part of putting this back together was getting these O-rings. So I'm not sure where Kawasaki come up with their figures and numbers from. One of these O-rings from Kawasaki were, depends on the size, anywhere between something like £2.40 and £2.65 for one O-ring. So I need approximately 20 to put it back together, so that comes out to something like 50 quid. 50 quid just for O-rings. So I found this company here. I think I got all these O-rings in various sizes because I couldn't quite measure them accurately. So I punted for a number of different sizes. So I got all these O-rings, I got all these screws because I wanted to replace those as well, and I can't recall the figure. I think it was something like £30 to £35 for all of these bits. So I've got 250 O-rings. Okay, some of them won't fit, but they fit something. I just find it's ludicrous how the main dealer can come up with those prices. It's just bizarre. So I've polished up the brass work. So I let them soak in some clock cleaner. That seems to work quite well. Now I did put it out there on a forum. I watch Superbike Surgery with Jim, and you can subscribe and go on his forum and this, that and the other. And I put it out there, did anybody know where I can get O-rings at a sensible price? And a couple of people came back and just said, oh, buy the original one, saves a lot of hassle. But 50 quid just for O-rings, that's quite bizarre. If you're not watching Jim on Superbike Surgery, I suggest you do, because he's probably one of the best mechanics out there. It's nice to see some of these products are actually made in the UK. That's the only packet out of all of them, but some are. But you might as well go for these aftermarket ones, because on the website, not all of them were available anyway. So if you're going to have to guess the size on some of them, you might as well guess the size on all of them. So whenever you're trying to buy something, always try to cross-reference it. You know, like I say, I can't understand how one O-ring can cost £2.65. It's just bizarre. Like when I was doing the Zx10 originally, the original restoration of that, I needed I think it was a radiator thermostat switch or temperature switch or something. Now, I've no idea how much they cost from the main dealer. I don't think they did them anymore. But an aftermarket one on various websites were, I think it was like £80, £90. So I just took the part number off it. I put it through Google and I found one. I think it was in China. Everything's made in China. And I can't recall the price, but it was something bizarre like £6, £8 delivered. It took a while to come, but it's better than £80 or £90. I think the thermostat switch was off something like a Morris 1000 or something stupid, or an old Ford, but various parts will fit. So don't just go paying nearly £3 for one single O-ring when you can buy a bag for £3. So that's just a quick end of year video. Hopefully I'll get some more out next year. My GoPro has been playing up quite badly and I keep losing footage. I don't intend buying another one at 400 quid or whatever they cost. I probably wouldn't go for another GoPro anyway. But hopefully you'll all have a great Christmas and we'll see each other in the new year. Take care.